Okay, go ahead.
So I came to Aylmer Lake Lodge really to follow the footsteps and the canoe wake of Ernest Thompson Seton, who came here in 1907. And that may be a slightly different reason than for a lot of people coming here. I'm sure a lot of people come here to fish, and I never thought I would go fishing, but it was, I thought, really fishing is kind of part of the experience. So the other woman on the trip began fishing, and I thought, I'm going to try it. And as it turned out, my first day I caught something like a 17-pounder or something, which was really, really exciting, and have caught numerous fish since. And it was great fun. I mean, learning how to cast, and so it's kind of learning a new skill, which was great, and also something that Seton or his party must have done as well, I would think, although that wasn't my reason for doing it. I did it more as just a fun part of the trip. In terms of the Seton part of the expedition, I guess you could say, it was an incredible experience to know that Seton had lunch at the mouth of the Lockhart River, and in fact we found not only we're pretty sure we found the exact rock they would have sat on, but also we found a kerosene tin that may well have been theirs. We don't know that, and we'll be doing further research on that. For myself, I'm the only Canadian in the group, this particular party. There are 4 of us, and for me, what's important about that is, I've always been sort of attracted to the North, and I think many Canadians, the North is part of our identity as Canadians. We know that we have this vast land above us. We're kind of crowded along the southern border, but in fact there's a fascination with the North, which is kind of a buffer from the rest of the world in many ways. We have this great superpower just beneath our border, but north of us is this huge vast land. When I mention the word vast, of course, I can't really describe the feeling here of the space and of the incredible immensity of this land and the water and the rock. It's indescribable is probably the best way of putting it. I'm a writer, and I grasp for any words to describe what this place is really like. It's certainly barren and desolate at first glance, but it's teeming with life. Not only are we catching all of these fish, every time we drop a line in the water there's a fish that seems to take the hook, but also if you look around, there are blueberries everywhere. We've been picking blueberries along the way, cranberries, all kinds of flowers, cloudberries, so lots of wonderful bounty on the land, really. And unfortunately we haven't this time seen the caribou or the muskox that we were hoping to see, but certainly that would be another immense attraction here, would be being able to see that wildlife, to view that wildlife. And I would think, perhaps if we'd come just a little bit later in the season, we'd be able to do that. Another life form here, of course, are the incredible insects, the mosquitoes and black flies and horseflies and whatnot that we're wiping away from my face right now. But you just have to really come prepared for that, and it makes a huge difference if you carry the right gear, you have the right, I didn't use a lot of insect repellent because I had a really good bug shirt, and I also had a net that I used at different times if I wanted to sit still for a while. So, coming prepared here is a huge thing. And also prepared for both the extremes of temperature, hot and cold. I mean, it can get very warm during the day and very cold at night. But, I don't think you could come very many places where you would have the kind of experience that we've had here, both in terms of the cultural or the historic, the incredible history here. And that's not just the Seton expedition. There were other expeditions before and after him, but also the First Nations. There's, the tent rings that you find in various places, often where Seton also left a cairn. So, there's an incredible richness and diversity here, with both the natural world and the historic and prehistoric world. So it's an incredible experience, and I have to say, I think the guiding here has been incredible. We've had a guide who's been really careful about our safety, lots of redundancy. He always makes sure that we have 2 or 3 backups every time that we go out. And you know, that was a big concern of mine coming here, because I know we're in a very remote location. It would take several hours, even by, you know, even with good weather, it would take several hours to get to a hospital or to get to medical attention if anybody got hurt. So having somebody who is so attentive to our safety was really critical. Yeah, you know, if you ever think about doing an experience like this, I think Aylmer Lake Lodge is a really wonderful place to come. And there are very few places where you're going in the world where you're going to get this kind of experience that is in such a wonderfully remote location, where there's also, you know, that you feel safe, really, and that's incredible. And we not only stayed at the lodge, we also went camping. But always there was lots of, the safety was a primary concern. So I would certainly recommend it for fishing, or if you're just interested in this land, this vast northern land, it's a great place to come.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That was wonderful.
I used to do radio.